is Major Wildlife. I am here at Centro Habitat Mediterraneo di Ostia, della LIPU. From LIPU, yeah. This is gonna be a shorter video, I think, than last time. As you can see, my hair is pretty bad. I am here with the bad boy. I got everything, and I want to see some very nice birds today. There's rumored to be some great horned grebes and some other species that I do not know the name in English of. So yeah. Starting off my little walk up to the hides, I immediately came across two magpies that were inspecting the path for food. They quickly perched on the fence when they saw me coming though. Magpies are very common in wild areas like this in Lazio, but it's actually good to get to see and photograph them once in a while. Last time I passed here there was a nutria, and I got very close to it before it left. This place is home to some of the most beautiful and rare species of birds in Italy, and I was lucky to see some on my first visit in July of 2023. I was told to keep an eye out for some species like the turtle dove and the purple heron, and would you look at that, the turtle dove had perched on a branch right above the hide, and the purple heron passed in front of it flying. Luck had been on my side that day, and I had no idea I would be almost as lucky today. The moment I entered the first hide, I was greeted by a large quantity of Eurasian coots, but to catch my attention was another bird, one that is often considered Europe's rarest duck, that being the ferruginous duck. The ferruginous duck is a rather small diving duck distributed from Spain and North Africa to Mongolia. The sexual dimorphism in the species can be evident as the males have very bright white eyes and the females have very dark eyes and overall are darker on the plumage. I have seen this bird before, and it was in a mixed flock of tufted ducks and common pochards in December. After some time, more and more species started to appear, the first new arrivals being of course mallards. Some little grebes started appearing and disappearing from the surface of the water, and barn swallows and house martins were patrolling the surface of the water for insects. While I was trying to photograph the swallows, I failed. Something totally unexpected happened. In front of us, behind some bushes, a huge flock of dark, relatively big birds took flight. I wasn't sure what those were at first, but after taking the first photos, I found out they were glossy ibises. I was so excited to finally see an ibis in the wild, and a native one too. I didn't even know they were still here, as I thought ibises and spoonbills were in Lazio in the winter. I was very wrong. I couldn't take any video of them, as they really took to the skies and flew over to a more secluded area of the oasis. Though I am very curious of if there was something that disturbed them into flying away. I will actually get back to talking about the ibises as they reappeared later. After the flock of ibises disappeared, another flying group made their presence known, this time a small flock of red crested pochards, of which a couple would become the main protagonist of the birding session. Now this is a species of duck I have actually seen long before starting this whole wildlife photography thing. I had seen a female at Lago di Garda, but had no idea of what that was. This beautiful duck can be easily distinguished from other thanks to its distinctive reddish head, bright red bill and red eyes in males. The females of this species have white head with a brown cap and dark eyes. Overall, this bird is beautiful and very high on the list of birds I wanted to photograph this year, but it is not over, as it will stay here in Italy throughout spring and summer. As the time passed, I was still seeing coots, mallards and little grebes, but surprisingly, while scouting with my zoom, I managed to see an Eurasian kestrel, a very common falcon species. And somehow, while watching a bush very far off in the distance, I saw a very small bird that was walking along the edge of the water. It looked like it could have either been a moorhen or a water rail. What I did not realize was that I had seen and somewhat photographed a little crake, another one of the rarest aquatic birds of Italy. Of course, after this I was extremely happy, and to top everything, I spotted a glossy ibis hiding in a tree in the distance, and it flew away. Much to my surprise, it had decided to fly over to the island in front of the hide and land to have a drink. This was a beautiful moment, and the perfect opportunity to film the ibis. As I got ready to film it, a coot decided that the ibis had drunk enough and scared it away, sadly. After this, there were no more signs of the glossy ibises, but nonetheless the phanerugynous ducks reappeared, and surprisingly the local moot swan made a brief appearance as well, and the red-crested pochard couple was still there. The weather was not going to get any better, and after 2 hours in the shed I can proudly say that this was one of my most successful birding trips in, without a doubt, my favorite birding hotspot. I got to see a couple of new species, some of them being very rare, photographed my first ibis, and some more familiar faces. I hope you enjoyed this brief video. I will be back at the Centro Habitat Mediterraneo LIPU in a couple of weeks for the floating hide. But until then, happy holidays.